3, 2, 1.
Hello and good evening and welcome to the BLACKPRINCEMX Terras. Today I'm going to answer one of questions that we have arrived from the Mexican Dioscorea video. Let me turn the camera, wait a second. The question was, what happened to the Dioscorea that you changed without roots ago more than a year? Did it grow roots? Did I take a gate again? This is the answer. It brings its gate. The leaves, but not the flowering. It was given in a few minutes, you will know why. But see how beautiful it's. Therefore, today I'm going to talk about one of the family members of this specimen. If you want to know everything, stay until the end, you will like the information. Dioscorea elephantipes, also known as Dioscorea testudinaria, Rhizemis elephantipes, Thamus elephantipes, testudinaria elephantipes, turtleback, tortoiseback plant, elephant foot, turtleback and Hottentots breed. From the Latin elephantus, which means elephant, and pes or pedis, which means foot, in reference to the caudex that evokes the leg of an elephant. The name was put in honor of the Greek physician and herbalist Pedanius Dioscorides, who lived in the 1st century AD. These specimens are from South Africa, specifically the Cape of Good Hope, including the Clough Willem district of the Western Cape and the Graaf Reinet, Willowmore and Unondale districts of the Eastern Cape. These species seem to have a wide tolerance to growing habitats, derived from the fact that it has been seen growing on weathered rocks and dry and stony slopes, with seasonal rainfall under the protection of carrot shrubs. Accustomed to extreme heat about 40 degrees Celsius, but can also withstand low temperatures less than 4 degrees Celsius. Dioscorea elephantipes is a caduciform succulent that belongs to the Dioscoraceae family of monocots. The large and partly exposed tuberous stem is woody in appearance, firm in the texture but the succulent on the inside as water storage organ. The inner pulp of the tuber is rich and starched, and although it would be an expensive experiment, it's edible, hence the name Hottentot bread. On the outside, this species has a large stem with a tuberous texture that will slowly grow to resemble a tortoise, hence the name testudinaria. With a thick gray-brown bark that is diploid cracked, thus forming corky polygonal plates of great value, visually prominent with age. It can reach 3 or more meters in diameter with a height of nearly 1 meter above the ground, but usually no more than 1 meter in width. An estimated maximum weight of 365 kilograms. The tuber crop produces seasonal twining vines from the top of the caudex, typically reaching 2 meters, growing rapidly during the fall to spring season, but usually die back in the late spring and early summer, leaving the caudex to survive the hot and dry season. The leaves are heart-shaped, where the inflorescence manifests itself in a small cluster of yellowish green flowers up to 4 mm wide. The Dioscorea elephantipes is a dioicous specimen. That is, there are specimens with male flowers and others with female flowers. There is an important data. This species was nearly eradicated in nature during the search for commercially valuable sources of steroidal saponins such as dioscorea, which is used to synthesize cortisone and birth control pills. Fortunately, removing the plants from their habitat proved difficult, and as a cheaper and more viable sources of these steroids become available, collecting effort ceases. Well, friends, what do you think about the information? I think it was very important, specific, and that it contributes a little more than the knowledge of these specimens. On this occasion, we have these two specimens that we acquired with Mr. Roberto Garay, a person who has a lot of knowledge and experiences in the cultivation of African specimens. So we don't distrust the substrate in which they come, but it's not suitable for my climate conditions. So we are going to do the transplant even when it's not the season. I mean, because it should be done when they have no guides and are in a state of rest. I want to say that when they are at the rest, the specimen is less stressed. But in my city, it has been very cold and it maintains humidity longer. Whatever I need to do it to have a semi-irrigation cycle, let's go there. The elements that we will use are lumbrous humus, tepojal, coconut fiber, and a substrate mix. We put them in a tub and we revolve them well, so that they are integrated and the substrate is uniform. We already have our substrate prepared. Now we are going to see what substrate they come in before change it. Be careful, the rods are very fragile. Let's clap the pot to remove them. Wow! See the roots, they are very fine. Be careful while transplanting. Their substrate is made of tepojal, tesontle, coal and soil. The coal helps to prevent fungal problems. To transplant, we are going to put substrate up to the half of the pot after we enter the caudex and continue filing. Now, a little decorative stones to keep the prepared substrate in place and ready. Friends, with this, we consider the transplant has finished. How could you realize signs? They have some very thin rods and very small due to the size of the specimen. It's very easy to break, so be careful when removing them from the pot. A grower's advice: they are about 2 years old, them being young. You have to vary them a little more, so the caudice grows much faster as it grows. You have to remove the excess substrate so you can see the magnificent firm polygonal lines generated by the caudex. It's important to mention that the place that they like the most is the parent shade. But when the guys grow, in order to flower, it's important that they give them direct sun. So we will know if it's a male or female specimen. Please be careful with irrigation, since they tolerate water well while it's active, that is with the guide, but being at the rest, we must extend the times between waterings, but not suspend them so that the roots don't die. There are also that water on the substrate and not on the caudex, because it may have a deep surface and the water is standing, allowing a rot of the specimen. Finally, the propagation is only by seed, for which we need a female and male plant. The seeds are recommended to germinate between August and September, since it's the dry and warm season. But if you have a germinator, you can do it all year round. Okay friend, if you reached this point, I want to thank you for seeing the video. I hope you like it and it's useful. I only ask you for a favor. Help me sharing between the groups of plants, since in certain countries I restrict me from doing so because I'm a specialist page and they think it's spam. Also, help me with a great like. Remember to follow me on Facebook as BLACKPRINCEMX. There I will start uploading information once my hen is composed. I have no more than to thank you, to tell you that this is the end of the video. Stay watching the epic takes of this specimen, and remember that God is in your house, take care of you, blesses you, and protects you. From the Black Prince family, love forever. See you soon.